Now, he once said he learned everything in life through football. Eric Cantona, star, of course, of Manchester United, revered over there, but shunned in his native France by the football establishment. Now maybe he's seeking to get bigger revenge by becoming president of the country. That's what his aim is anyway. James Creedon's here to tell us more about Eric the Red. Eric the Red.
Eric the Red, indeed.
Is he a red? Is he a socialist?
I suppose it's a bit of a... He's advancing a slightly social agenda that is housing, social housing, making sure that the 10 million people, according to his letter when he was seeking the 500 signatures you need to get to be a presidential candidate, the 10 million people who are badly housed in France need to be looked after better. This is an issue championed by the Abbé Pierre Foundation, which he was trying to give, a leg up far in terms of their publicity, and essentially it's pretty clear from the press coverage of this today in France that it's not a real bid to become president. In fact, he even spoke in an interview with Libération about the real candidates, inferring that he's actually not a real candidate himself at all. But it hasn't stopped newspapers around the world picking up in the story. The headline in the Daily Telegraph is "Philosopher, actor and now politician?" ? As for the Daily Mail, they seem to be not writing him off at all. King Eric for president? Never say no. And they point out that he wouldn't be the first to cross over from football and cinema, etc. They speak about Ronald Reagan, they speak about Schwarzenegger and others. They're saying, there have been precedents for all this sort of stuff. For the Washington Post, they're saying the stunt exhibited his trademark unorthodoxy and media savvy and got France's political class talking briefly about public housing. So it worked. He made the front page of Libération, got people talking about the issue. But one politician, Cécile Duflot of the Greens, said, look, it's pretty sad really when you have to threaten to be a candidate in the presidential election to get people to listen to your cause. That you have to actually, because they have been trying to draw attention to this issue for months now, the Abbé Pierre Foundation, and it took this really to actually bring it to the forefront of the agenda.
Well, I think maybe she's being a bit unfair about it. I mean, Cantona's allowed to have a point of view. He's allowed to express himself. And he's one of these people who, I was based up in the north of England when he was playing at Manchester United. He was one of these people, sort of women adored him. Yeah. The guys wanted to be like him. Even the guys who didn't support Manchester United.
Has
this great panache,
charisma,
this great ability, this great je ne sais quoi, this sort of thing that sort of maybe is the type of thing that, a politician would need to get elected.
He's brilliant at bringing his focus in on an issue. There was that issue, we were talking about it yesterday as well, in December 2010, when he brought the attention of France and indeed the world to the power of the financial establishment and the banking institutions, when he said he was going to withdraw all of his money, and he encouraged the French public to do the same. It didn't happen in the end, but everyone was talking about it. So he's great at bringing the attention of the public to an issue.
His entire career, if you like, has been filled with these unorthodox and some might say strange kind of occasions that have happened. For instance, when he sort of told the entire selection board of the French FA that they were, well, I think merde was the word he used, and that got him banned from the national team. But he goes to Manchester United, becomes like sort of the prophet without honour in his own country and is revered completely. Then at 30 he decides to call it a day and retire. And he could have had another 2, 3, 4 years at Manchester United on the gravy train. No, he wraps that up and becomes an actor.
Right, it's pretty extraordinary. So he's
amazing stuff,
he's going to continue to reinvent himself and champion the issues that are dear to him, I guess.
Can't another movie could be fantastic, couldn't it?
I think it'll probably happen someday.
Well, maybe James Creedon movie happened first. Move on to your next story, James, because I'm really excited about this one.
All right, well, it's a blog that I was going to show it yesterday. I love this blog, and it's gone viral online. It's called Dear Photograph. Now, it was set up by a guy back in May of last year when he found a photo of his brother in the kitchen at age 3 and realised that his brother was actually sitting in the same spot. So what he did is he put the photos up online, and it became totally viral, and people started taking photos of the past, taking a photo of the past in the present. That's the slogan. And what you get is these amazing photos that people are uploading to this website of themselves when they were, children, of family members.
So that one I can see. It's the actual garden.
Right.
And they've taken the photo, taken in that actual garden many years ago and put it in the same place, then taken it again. Okay.
Exactly. And the idea is that, it gets people, I suppose, going down memory lane. Now, this one I think is incredibly well done. You've got a car from the 50s,
that really
from the
shows
50s, current day car, etc., and you've got got lots of other examples of that. This is the dad of this little guy here, and he's saying, my son would never have believed that I actually fit on that same step, and he did. This is a photo taken by the son of his mother, who has since passed on, and he says that it's going to be his first Christmas without her. So some really lovely sentimental ideas, and here the pet that has passed on.
Sure.
And the press has been all over this, saying it's one of the reasons, a story that restores your faith in the internet. Huffington Post.
That is lovely. I'm filling up seriously because it sort of makes me think about stuff. And it's
You could
amazing
spend,
stuff, isn't
honestly, you could spend hours on it.
James Creedon, you got me there, mate. Thank you very much. James Creedon, as ever, with, Media Watch. What else could we call it? Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Now then, stay with us. We've got much more news to come, of course, here live from Paris, including a look at sport. So much money, so few players. Can you believe Roberto Mancini at Manchester City said he hasn't got a big enough squad? There you go. More on that after the break.